I want to show you how to make Pop Tarts. These are like a childhood favorite, and just a few ingredients, a few simple steps, and you're gonna have your very own custom-made Pop Tarts. You're gonna start by pouring your 2 cups of Frankie's gluten-free all-purpose flour blend into your mixer, and your cup of really cold butter, and I've cubed this up. So what I've done is I've cubed it up, popped it back in the fridge, and when I need it, I just pull it out because it needs to be nice and cold. And the reason why you want it nice and cold is so that you get a nice flaky crust. So we're going to mix that up. And all I'm doing for mixing is I'm mixing it until I see little pea-size amounts of butter in there. And some of them can be a little bit larger, but overall they need to be pea-size. Okay, to that I want to add 3/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, 2 tablespoons of cold water. Again, that's to keep everything nice and cold. 1 tablespoon of vinegar, and 1 egg. And I'm going to mix this up until it all forms a ball. Look at that, about 60 seconds later, and I've got what I would consider a ball of dough. So we're going to pop that off. And I'll get my spatula. There we go. We'll just get the dough off. There we go. Now I'm gonna toss this somewhere just to give us a bit more room. Now we need to roll out our dough. Now what I like doing is I like rolling it in two parts. Just makes it easier to work with. So I'll just cut it in half, leave the 1 half in there. And I've got some bench flour, also gluten-free. Oh, that feels so nice. Okay, and got my rolling pin. The more square I make it, the easier it is, or the more pieces I can get out of one single rolling. And I'm rolling it to about 3 millimeters, or a 1/16 of an inch thick, or an 1/8 of an inch, sorry, an 1/8 of an inch thick. And then I'm going to grab my knife. Take off some bits. Let's go right about there. And just lifting it up so that I don't get it misshapen. You can see over here it lost its shape a little bit. Okay, now I'm cutting rectangles. And for this first round, I'm just eyeballing it. And then for subsequent rounds, I'm going to measure them all. Okay, so I've got a baking sheet, and I'm going to lay these right on. I'll set them aside. And I'm going to repeat the process. So I've got a little bit of dough left over, but I'm going to use that for something else. Right now we've done 4 bases and 4 tops. So now what we want to do is we take jam, and I'm going to lay it out in the middle. Just a thin layer of jam is what you're looking for. There we go. It's about a tablespoon or so of jam that I've ended up putting on mine. Looks good. So I'm leaving, I'm making sure that the edges are void of any of this jam. And that's because we need to seal them. Okay, last one. Okay. Now I've got a whole egg, and I'm just going to whisk this up. There we go. And then I'm going to brush the edges. And this is our glue. Oops. Got a little extra glue out there. Let's see if I can use it up. Look at that, I used it. And then place these right on top, pressing them down right on the outside edge. Okay, we'll do another one. Let's go this end. There we go. That looks pretty good. So at this point, if you want to do something fancy with the edges, you can always take a fork and you can just go along the edge, just like so. And I find this also locks in all the jam as well. And then finally, I'm going to take a knife and you want to just lightly score 3 score marks along each one, getting through, but not all the way through both layers, just getting through that top layer. And then we're going to brush this with a little bit more of the egg wash. Give it a nice golden hue on it. And then this is going to go into my preheated oven of 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius for 25 to 30 minutes or until they're absolutely golden brown. So we'll see you when they're golden. These turned out really well. As you can see, they're nicely golden brown, and on the underside they're nicely golden brown. They smell really good. So you could eat them just like that, but a traditional Pop Tart, if I'm not mistaken, has icing. So let's put these aside and we're going to make some icing. So we've got some powdered sugar, and that's 3/4 of a cup of powdered sugar. And I'm going to put in most of my whipping cream. So this is going to be about 1.5 tablespoons of whipping cream and about 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. And we're going to mix this up. And I've reserved the rest of the whipping cream just in case I need to make it a bit thinner, which I can tell you already I probably will. But a little tiny bit goes a long way when you're making icing. Okay, so I'm going to switch to a spoon because the whisk is just not mixing it to my liking. There we go. Oh, that's better. Much better. But it is way too thick, so I'm going to add just a drop. We'll see what that gets us. Feels better already, but I think we need a little bit more. I'll just get the edges just to make sure. Yeah. What you're looking for is you're looking for a consistency that floods the whole surface but doesn't go so far that it's going to droop over the edge. It's going to hold its shape, but it's also going to smooth its edges, or it's going to smooth the top for you. Almost there. You can see it's still holding its shape, so I need just a little bit more. And if you find you've added too much whipping cream, you can always add more icing sugar. But do it sparingly again. You want to do little bits at a time. That looks perfect. I'd say that's looking pretty good. Maybe just a drop more. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so let's bring the Pop Tarts back. Let's decorate them. So I'm going to put about a tablespoon right down the middle. I'm going to watch how heavy you press down because it's very delicate pastry. Not so much for transporting it, it's just the top is quite delicate. And then I've got some multicolored sprinkles. And you just add your sprinkles. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these. These look so good. I can't wait to sink my teeth into them. Now, these can set up for about 24 hours out in the open air and then stored in an airtight container for up to 5 days just on the counter. But, I mean, they're not going to last that long. Breakfast 1, breakfast 2, breakfast 3, breakfast 4. I mean, 4 days worth of breakfasts, you're good. Or lunch, or maybe it's first snack, second snack, third snack, dinner. But in all reality, I'm going to give it a try. It's exactly as good as it looks. If you're looking for the recipe, you can visit glutenfreeguy.ca. You can also follow me on any of these websites. And coming up next is this. See you soon.